Good morning or afternoon or evening or whenever it may be for you. Hello YouTube, I hope you're all been well. Sorry for the lack of streams the past couple of days, internet's been a little funky, but it kind of worked out in timing in the sense I wanted to do an update video anyway, just talking about a few things and addressing a few ideas I've had and what the plans for the future are. Don't worry, something bad. I know when people make these update videos and go, the plans for the future, people go, uh-oh. But no, it's nothing like that. It's more just minor changes that I've been thinking about for a while that I'm kind of now finally pulling the trigger on and making the change to. I'll start with the biggest one and kind of work our way down, that being the sub goals. I'm changing how they work. I know for people who've been on the channel for a while, you may have noticed that I was probably going to do something like this eventually because it was moving very slowly and it's not very engaging as it is. So I've kind of changed it down to its core. Essentially, what I'm going to do is the sub goal system that I had up until this point of, every 100 subs, like one of the games, most of the time games I don't want to play, but I know will make good content. That doesn't exist anymore. And if you're sitting there going, uh-oh, but I really wanted you to play, I don't know, Trails of Cold Steel at 600 subs. If that's not on there, what's going to happen to that? Or, oh no, I know you really hate that one Castlevania game, Robu. Are we going to be able to make you play it some other way, or are we just in trouble and you're just never going to play it and you're dodging your responsibilities? No, nothing like that. Because of this new system that I'll explain in a second, basically every single game that was on the old sub-goal list, I'm going to just treat as completed. It doesn't mean I'm going to get to it right now. It just means I'm going to treat it as we've reached them, and I will get to them when I get to them. Just because the new sub-goal system I want to do just wouldn't really fit having that in. Essentially, and I won't implement it straight away, we're talking like a certain event occasions, but I want to do month-based sub-goals. So instead of it being reach 600 subs, it will be, to give the example that I plan when to start it in December, during December, if I get an X number of extra subs, like say if I break 20 subs by the end of the month, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll do this game in January, or I'll do this game in the year, sort of thing. That idea, make it more seasonal. It won't be every month, it'll literally probably be December, May, because my birthday's in May, so I'll absolutely do some sub-goals for May. And I will probably, even though they'll be a little close to each other, I will probably try and do one in the summer, even if that is kind of close to the May one. But we will figure that out as time goes on the experiment. But it will be more of that idea. It's like more of 5 subs within the month. Here's this thing I'm doing for after December, or we hit 20 extra subs during that month. Here's what I'm gonna do. Just make it like scalable, and it would also, as the channel grows, allow me to be flexible with it. Like if we reach a point where we are getting more subs on average, I can make the width between each goal slightly bigger. Or if it's a particularly quiet year for whatever reason, which I hope not, I can make it smaller. You get the idea? I haven't got anything in plan of what those will be for December, which is part of the reason why I'm announcing it now, so it gives me time to think about it. But that's kind of the general idea I'll be going for. Next, I wanted to bring mention to my scripted videos. I hope you all really enjoyed the Hitman Blood Money video. Not as many people watched as I hoped. Thankfully, people did watch it, and for those who did, thank you. If you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend it. Not just because I'm biased and I made the bloody thing, but also I think it's pretty decent. And I hope it's enjoyable, and I hope that all of my fruits of labor were worth it, and it's just a solid time. But I do wish more people kind of check out that. But that doesn't mean, because it performed slightly poorer than I was expecting, that I'm suddenly not going to do more or anything. I am working on more, but I'm kind of going off the mentality of picking and choosing, basically doing it when I want to, not just saying, oh no, I need to review this thing, I need to do this, I need to do that, because that's kind of what caused the burnout in the first place I had back in January of this year, where after the Doom 3 DLC video, because I felt the need to make that DLC video, I was so done making scripted videos after that video. I was just not up for making more for a while, which is why it took so long for me to get around to doing Hitman Blood Money. I do have a few ideas of stuff I want to do though, but it's just when the mood takes and when the opportunity arises, I'll go for it. Lastly, the way I handle my schedule announcements, I've always used the community tab. I am going to still do that, but I'm going to change how it's structured to be a little less waffly. I tend to have like an opening paragraph, then the schedule, and then a closing paragraph. I want to kind of shrink that down a bit, kind of take out some of the meat, and just make it the core content that you're looking at it for to begin with. So it will be schedule week. I'm debating changing it from week commencing to just week between. So instead of it saying WC Monday and then whatever that date is, it will just say from Monday the date till Sunday the date, you know? Just to make it a little simpler for people who might not, who maybe haven't worked in retail and are used to seeing WC and might not realize that it means week commencing. But I digress, that's just a small thing. But that's kind of what I'm considering, and then just making it the schedule, and maybe afterwards just having notes if there's things about it. Because obviously, schedule's always subject to change, especially with how crappy my internet can be at times. But just putting in little notes, like, if one particular game's just going to be a one-off, there'll be a note, like a bullet point underneath it just saying it'll be a one-off. If one stream is planned to be later in the day than usual, it will say in that sort of idea, just to make it a bit more streamlined, and you can just kind of glance at it and be like, oh, okay, that's what that is. Okay, you know? But to quickly reiterate and wrap this up, traditional sub goals are gone. Everything that was on the traditional sub goal list is counted as done, and I'll cover them at some point in the future when the mood takes. Instead, I'll be doing smaller seasonal ones, starting with one around Christmas time. Scripted videos will still be happening, but it's just more depending on the occasion and what mood I'm in. I'm not going to force myself to have a new one ready, because that's what caused the burnout to begin with. And the community tab is going to be a bit more cleaned up to just be more consistent and easy to glance at. The only other thing I could really think to mention, and it's not really tied to any updates, it's more just for people that watch certain content over others. For those who enjoyed my Zenless, or just my MiHoYo stuff, I wanted to kind of bring to quick mention that I'm probably not going to stream Zenless anymore. I got the Platinum a while ago, and after I did, I kept on playing it like I usually do with, Genshin and Star Rail, because I Platinum them as well. And unlike with those ones, I kind of started to just burn out with Zenless, so I've come away from it. It doesn't mean I'm permanently done with it. Like, when 2.0, I probably will come back around and at least try it out and whatnot. But at least for now, I've uninstalled the game and just kind of put it down. It's just not keeping my interest. It's a fun game, it has a lot of charms, and it's genuinely, especially if you look at the fighting game audience, it's picked up an audience. And I wish it the best. It's just, there's not enough, especially in the post-game, to just kind of keep me afloat in it. And so I was like, I'm not going to try and push to if it's clearly not for me, and it gives me more time in the morning if there's less dailies to do. But I digress. That's about it from me. I will see you next week for the streams, which should be fun. As of this recording, my schedule is going to be all over the place, to be honest. It's going to be Astrobot, because that game looks fantastic, and I was going to cover it on Friday, gone when it released, but my schedule was already kind of busy, and I wanted to kind of just spend a good chunk of time with it, so that'll be on Monday and Tuesday. I'm going to do Castlevania Portrait of Rowan this week as well, because, come on, I'm a Castlevania nutjob if my playlist surrounding Castlevania is anything to go by. And then obviously we'll try and squeeze in some Dirk as well. But until then, thank you for popping into my ramblings of this little update video, and I will see you in the next stream. You guys take care now. Peace.